Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the Learning to Learn module. In this transformative journey, we will embark on an exploration of the language learning strategies. In a rapidly evolving world where knowledge and skills are key to success, the ability to learn effectively has become more important than ever before. The Learning to Learn module is designed to empower both teachers and pupils with the mindset and techniques necessary to optimize their learning potential. Whether you are a student, a teacher, or simply someone with a thirst of knowledge, this module will provide you with practical insights and strategies that can be applied to any learning endeavor. Throughout this module, we will delve into various aspects of language learning strategies, including cognitive compensation, effective social memory, and affective strategy. You will discover three activities in our modules, namely adjective charade drama, the nonverbal quiz, the confusing duo, I'm confused, and pronoun party. Now let us take a look at the aim of our three activities in this module. The first one is the adjective charade drama, the non-verbal quiz. Okay, this is to reinforce and explain vocabulary related to adjectives, promote nonverbal communication skills, and encourage creativity and imagination among the pupils. And the second activity is the pronoun party, which is uh, targeting pupils to learn how to use different word classes correctly and appropriately. And the last one is the confusing duo. I'm confused. It aims to provide pupils with a comprehensive understanding of the ed and ing adjective forms and ways to use them effectively in their daily communication. Now I will pass the floor to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Justin and I'm going to explain on the first activity, which is the adjective charade drama, the nonverbal quest. The purpose of this activity is to reinforce and expand vocabulary related to adjectives, promote nonverbal communication skills, and encourage creativity and imagination. The strategies involved here are the cognitive, compensation, and social strategies. Cognitive strategies involve mental processes such as thinking, organizing information, and making connections. In this activity, students use connective strategies to select adjectives from the given list and mentally connect the meaning of the adjective to appropriate actions and gestures. They engage in critical thinking by considering how to effectively portray the adjective without using verbal communication. Compensation strategies are used when learners encounter difficulties or limitation in their language abilities. In charades, students may encounter adjectives that are challenging to act out. They can employ compensation strategies by using additional gestures, exaggerated expressions, or creative interpretations to compensate for any potential limitations in expressing the adjective solely through nonverbal means. The social strategies, on the other hand, involve interacting with others to enhance language learning. In the charades activity, students engage in social strategies through team collaboration and communication. They work together as a team, discussing and sharing guesses, providing feedback and encouragement, and also refining their nonverbal communication skills by observing and learning from each other's gestures and expressions. So here are the steps and instructions that I would like to suggest if you were to conduct this activity. First, you need to divide the students into two groups. The next step is to have one representative to come to the front and pick one card that contains the selected or designated adjectives. The player acting out the adjective can use gestures, facial expressions, and body movements to portray the meaning of the adjective. Hence, it will make it easier for the rest of the members to guess what they are actually portraying or saying. The team members can put up their hands and shout out their guesses. and the player can indicate with gesture if they are close to the correct answer. If the team successfully guesses the adjectives within the given time limit, for example 1 minute, they earn a point. If the team successfully guesses the adjectives within the given time limit, for example 1 minute, they earn a point. If the team successfully guesses the adjectives within, to make it fair, a rotation among the team members will be done so that all the team members have the chance to act out the adjectives. To make it fair, a rotation among the team members will be done so that all the team members have the chance to act out the adjectives. To make it fair, a rotation among the team members will be done so that the team with the most points at the end of the game wins. The team with the most points at the end of the game wins. The evaluation can be done through the accuracy of their guesses. Teachers need to pay attention to the team members' ability to guess the correct adjectives based on the action done by the player. Evaluate the accuracy of their guesses and their understandings of the adjectives being acted out. As part of the PBD evaluation, teachers can observe if students can select and act out appropriate adjectives based from the given list, assess the understanding of the meaning of the adjective through the gestures, facial expressions, and body movements. Teachers can also evaluate the effectiveness of students' nonverbal communication skills in conveying the meaning of the adjectives without speaking. Assess the ability to use gestures, facial expressions, and body language to portray the intended adjectives. Their creativity and imagination can also be evaluated. Teachers can assess the students' creativity and knowledge to come up with unique and creative ways to act out the adjectives. Look for the originality and the imaginative interpretations of their adjective in their gestures and movements. As for examples, the students are given adjectives as shown and they have to act it out. The rest of the group members have to guess correctly within the time given, for example, like 1 minute. So they have to guess like the words happy, the adjective sad, the adjective excited, angry, confused, and many more. There are actually limitless options that can be done to this activity. So here are some variations that you can actually carry out with your students. The first one is the adjective Pictionary. Like instead of acting out the adjectives, the students can take turns drawing the adjectives on a board or a piece of paper while their team try to guess what adjectives from the drawing or illustration that they do. Next exciting variation would be the adjective taboo. Similar to the popular game Taboo, students can take turns describing the adjective without using the words itself. For example, the word happy. So they are prohibited to use the word happy. The team members must guess the adjective based on the descriptions. The next variation will be the adjective guessing circle. The students will form a circle. Each student silently think of an adjective and whisper it to the students on their right or on their left. The next student then acts out the adjective that they received, and the following students guess the adjectives. This continues around the circle until the original adjectives is guessed.
So I will be presenting on the second activity, which is pronoun party. So the purpose of this activity is so that teachers can use this to facilitate students, and also the students can learn how to use different word classes correctly and appropriately. So the language learning strategy present in this activity are connective strategy, social strategy, and meta-connective strategy. The first step of this activity is the teachers will organize the students into groups of four. So the student will sit in stations. There will be a few stations, and later on, in the next activity, they will rotate around the stations. In the next step, teacher will distribute different pronouns, pick, flip, check, A4 cards to each group. So each group will have different sample sentences. As you can see in the diagram, this one is one of the examples. The one on the left is the front side, while the one on the right is the back side, which I will explain later. Next, in groups, pupils will use paper clips to pick the correct pronoun for each sentence by slipping or inserting the paper clips into the side of the card. As you can see in the examples, Emir is 11 years old. So the answer will be he likes to play badminton. So pupils will insert the paper clip where the pronoun he is placed at. After they have completed the task, pupils will then flip the card over to check their answers. As you can see in the diagram, this one is at the back side of the card. So if pupil inserted where the paper clips where the pronoun is at the back side of the card, means that they have the correct answer. If they inserted the paper clip at the blank space in the card, means that they have the wrong answer. After that, teacher will discuss the answers together with the pupils and explain the use of he, she, we, and they in sentences. Each group will then move to a different station to complete one rotation. This is to expose the pupils to various sample sentences where the pronouns are used. Next, the teacher will show a sample of complete pronoun pizza template, as you can see in the diagram. And then teacher will ask the students to complete a blank template in the next activity. The next step would be teacher distributes the pronoun pizza template and pepperoni slices papers to each group. For the pepperoni slices papers, the teacher can change or add on any other nouns that is appropriate. Next, pupils will glue the papers as flaps onto the circles on top of the pizza. So the pupils will only glue the top part of the pepperoni slices papers, and then they will be asked to write a sentence underneath each flaps using the pronouns that they have learned, as you can see in the diagram. Lastly, the pupils will share the outcome of their work, their pronoun pizza, in a gallery walk. So this activity is called pronoun party because usually in a party there will be games such as a flip bottle game, and in this case is pronoun card flip game, and then usually there'll be food and all, and in this case pupils end their party by making a pronoun pizza. So the evaluation of the strategies can be done through the task given. For instance, by allowing pupils to move around stations and completing many sample sentences with direct pronouns. Teachers can assess and see if the pupils understand the use of pronoun in sentences. Next, pupils will also be able to self-evaluate by flipping the cards to check their own answers. Pupils' understanding of the use of pronouns can also be evaluated through the sentences they have constructed in the pronoun pizza. On the other hand, pupils can evaluate the strategies by playing hot potato game. Pupils will have to throw a hot potato, or actually ball, around to each other, and whoever has the ball has to mention one thing they like about the activity and also one thing that they have learned from the activity conducted. These strategies can be applied to teach other grammar items such as nouns, verbs, or participles, to name a few. Furthermore, teachers can adapt and adopt the materials and strategies to cater to the need of the pupils with different level of proficiency. For instance, for low proficiency pupils in the pronoun pizza activity, instead of writing sentences, pupils can just write down the correct pronoun underneath each flag, or they can also give extra examples as provided on the pepperoni slices, as can be seen diagram before. Therefore, with creativity, teachers can include all pupils with different level of proficiency to participate in this pronoun party strategy.
Good day, everyone. I'm Jennifer. Now let's look at our third activity, the confusing duo. I'm confused. This activity is developed to cater to individuals who are the intermediate user of English language, which is equivalent to B1 level according to the CFR scale. This activity aims to provide pupils with a comprehensive understanding of the ed and ing adjectives so as to assist them in distinguishing between the ed and ing adjective forms. They will also learn the ways to use both adjective forms effectively in their daily communication. The strategies selected for this activity are cognitive strategies, memory strategies, affective strategies, and social strategies. Let's now look at the steps and instructions. The examples of the activity and ways to use it will be explained throughout. To begin with, teacher writes on the board 3 ing adjectives, for example, boring, exciting, frightening. Then tell pupils they have to come up with people, things, or activities that they think fit in each category. So for example, if the adjective boring is written, pupils may relate it to queuing at a food stall, studying, or listening to a history lesson. Once the board is full of pupils' ideas, ask them, how do you feel? This is done to elicit the ed adjectives. For instance, ask them, how do you feel about cockroaches? So the students may answer, I feel frightened. Teacher then writes pupils' responses with the ed adjectives on the board. Capitalize the ed to emphasize that's how one feels. After that, show pupils this diagram. Explain the difference between the ed and ing adjective forms based on it. Teacher may explain to the students that ed adjective generally describe feelings, emotions, or opinions. We use it to to tell people how we feel, or people use it to tell others how they feel. Whereas the ing adjectives are used to describe things, people, places, or even activities that cause that feeling or emotion. So in short, ing makes you feel ed. And then examples may be given. For instance, watching a boring movie makes you feel bored. This will help students to understand the difference better. Next, get the pupils to attempt the video quiz on ed and ing form of adjectives by clicking the link given. Now, let's have a glimpse of the video quiz. Next, get the pupils to attempt the video quiz on ed and ing form of adjectives by clicking the link given. Now, let's have a glimpse of the video quiz. Next, get the pupils to attempt the video quiz on ed and ing form of adjectives by clicking the link given. Now, let's have a glimpse of the video quiz. Next, get the pupils to attempt the video quiz on ed and ing form of adjectives by clicking the link given. Now, let's have a glimpse of the video quiz. Next, get the pupils to attempt the video quiz on ed and ing form of adjectives by clicking the link given. Now, let's have a glimpse of the video quiz. Next, get the pupils to attempt the video quiz on ed and ing form of adjectives by clicking the link given. Now, let's have a After the quiz is done, teacher divides pupils into groups of 4. Each group is given a set of ed adjective cards and a set of ing adjective cards. A pen and a piece of paper will be needed too. Now, the leader of each group will distribute randomly the ing adjective card to every members in the group. So that means now every members in the group will have a few ing cards like this with them. Then the player will take turn to flip over an ed adjective card from the pile and then put it on the desk face up, showing the word they get. For example, bored. So that means the player with the matching ing card, boring, will have to first construct one or two sentences about himself or herself by using both adjectives within the given time frame. If the player uses both adjectives correctly, for example, like this, I think mobile games are boring, so I get bored easily whenever I'm playing games. He or she will get a point. However, if he or she is unable to do so, for example, I feel boring during the holidays, or he or she is unable to use both adjectives correctly, another member of the group could actually steal the point by using the pair of adjectives accurately in a sentence. Throughout, the leader has to record the points that each member gets and the sentences constructed by his or her group members. When every group is done with the game, the leader passes the paper with the sentences constructed by his or her group members on the wall. After that, a gallery walk is carried out. The evaluation is carried out via the task given throughout. Pupils will get a score at the end of the video quiz as well as the card game. This could be used as a source of evaluation on the effectiveness of the lesson. Besides, during the gallery walk activity, peer feedback would be given. On top of that, the strategy can also be evaluated through the exit ticket, which will be filled by pupils at the end of the activity. As mentioned earlier, this strategy is meant for individuals who have an intermediate level of proficiency in English. Nonetheless, the teacher can always modify the materials or the step in order to adapt to the proficiency level of their pupils. For instance, the card game. Teacher may change the number of the cards used, the number of players per group, the words written on the cards, or the topic of the sentences they are required to construct. Besides, the words can also be used as the prompts for pupils to write a story. As for the video quiz, rather than assigning it as an individual task, teacher may do it as a class by getting the students to shout out the answers or write their answers on a mini whiteboard or a piece of A4 paper and then show it. Besides, it could also be carried out as a group activity by asking a representative from each group to come forward and click the correct answer. On top of that, at places where internet is hardly inaccessible, the practice can be done in the form of a worksheet. The teacher can download the videos via the link given beforehand.
In conclusion, the language learning module has provided us with valuable insights into the process of acquiring a new language. Throughout this module, we have explored various aspects of language acquisition, including vocabulary building, grammar rules, pronunciation, and cultural understanding. By utilizing these interactive exercises, engaging lesson, and personalized feedback, this module may empower pupils to develop their language skills in an effective and enjoyable manner. Moreover, the module was designed to help foster a sense of community and collaboration among the pupils. This social aspect of language learning not only motivates pupils but also encourages them to engage actively in the learning process. Furthermore, we have examined a range of effective strategies and techniques that pupils can employ to optimize their language learning experience. Hopefully, by incorporating these strategies into their learning routine, individuals can foster language acquisition and proficiency in a more efficient and enjoyable manner. Thank you, everyone.